The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
Enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to show support for Rareform, there are a couple of ways. Become a patron at patreon.com/rareformradio. Make a one-time donation, or choose from a few subscription levels paid monthly for extra benefits. Those extra benefits include bonus episodes not available to the public, exclusive live streams, more interactions with the gang, along with other special perks that will change over time. Choose your level of donation, and know that your contributions go to keeping the show running and growing, paying crews behind the scenes, and just supporting independent artists. That's patreon.com/rareformradio. You can also get Rareform merch by going to rareformradio.threadless.com. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, all kinds of silly shit. We're constantly adding new things and limited time only goodies. That's rareformradio.threadless.com. You can also help build the show by subscribing, leaving a review, and most importantly, leaving us a rating on iTunes and Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Lastly, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram by searching @RareformRadio. Thanks for supporting independent entertainment.
All right, welcome to another fabulous episode of Rareform Radio. I am your host, Todd Newman, sitting here with my co-host, Dan Cleary. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. I'm going through I think I'm getting more positive in life in the last week or so.
Really? Because a complete opposite is happening to me.
For real? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not in a way of like depression, or I'm just so over this. Like I can't fucking take it anymore.
That part, if I'm thinking about like, oh, I'm home again. Oh, I can't see friends. Oh, that sucks. But I don't know what's happening, but I'm starting to feel like weight lifted off of me or something. I don't know, but I'll take it.
And I'm feeling the weight crushing my spirit and my soul with every moment that I'm alive.
Maybe you deserve it. I don't know. I just don't know.
I probably do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny that.
You haven't lived a very like clean, good life, you know?
No.
You've
not
sinned.
At all.
You're a sinner. This could be God doing stuff to you.
Yeah, but why would God do it to the whole earth at once if it's just me?
I'll tell you why. Because that's how shitty you are. That's how shitty you've been to people.
Speaking of that, did you hear about this asteroid that might hit the Earth the day before the election?
I just said I was feeling good. Are you shitting me?
Epiphys is a near-Earth asteroid with a diameter of 370 meters that caused a brief period of concern in December 2004 when initial observations indicated a probability of 2.7% that it would hit Earth on April 13th, 2029. Additional observations provided improved predictions that eliminated the possibility of an impact on Earth or Moon in 2029. However, until 2006, a possibility remained that during the 2029 close encounter with Earth, Epiphys, if that's how you pronounce it, would pass through a gravitational keyhole, a small region of no more than about 800 meters, that would set up a future impact exactly 7 years later on April 13th. It goes on and on and on. But now the prediction is that it could hit the Earth the day before the elections, which is just like a bad...
kidding.
Which is just like a bad movie. You can look up the articles on Google and stuff like that, but... this is where I saw it. Asteroid could strike Earth day prior to election. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I believe everything that fucking guy says.
Same. I agree.
Anyway,
is there any what could it do? Like, could it end life? Could it just hit the ocean? Do they know where it might hit?
I didn't get any of that from the articles, so I'm just throwing that out there and let your imagination run wild with it.
Well, I was doing good. Now I'm doing bad. That's a drag. That's a
I don't know. It
serious
could
drag.
be one of those things that like caused the extinction of dinosaurs on this planet because the impact was so great and fucked up all the ecosystem. Could be something
that's
like
my
that.
concern. That's exactly my concern. Where did the that one that killed the dinosaurs? Where did that hit?
I'd imagine where a bunch of dinosaurs were.
Right. Well, they were all over the globe. Oh, just a dumbass. What a stupid. Sorry. What?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
You know, I've lived here for 21 years. And I've never been to the La Brea tar pits.
Really?
Never.
Dude, the La Brea tar pits have I have mixed emotions about them because I actually love the La Brea tar pits. There's a little museum there. It's not chock full of dinosaur bones or anything, but like prehistoric wolves that lived in the area that got stuck in the tar, and you know, a woolly mammoth thing. It's kind of a low rent museum.
Well,
But
explain what it is if people don't know.
the La Brea tar pits is there's a huge lake. It's like I think the lake was man-made, but what ended up happening was gas and tar and bubbles started to come up through the ground and through the foundation there. And there's basically, if you walk around the grounds there, there's tar like bubbling through the surface. And in the prehistoric ages or ice ages or whatever, a bunch of animals would get trapped in the tar. So it's chock full of fossils and bones and shit that they've pulled out over the years. And it still manufactures, like the tar is still there, and like you can go in and check out the excavation sites and all that shit. And there's a museum in there as well. And it used to be a place like where you could just like a bunch of green grass, and you can hang out and walk around, and there's these huge lakes that are surrounded by like a fence, and there's a you could see the gas bubbling underneath the surface and the slickness of the oil and the tar on top of the water. And it's fucking pretty toxic. Like if you stand there long enough, you'll get a fucking headache.
Okay.
And there's these like woolly mammoths that they've reconstructed, not from bones. They're just models, but they're in the tar pits, like, like and it's just attraction stuff. But I used to have a dealer that would meet me at the La Brea tar pits.
I don't know why I knew you were going to have a drug story about the tar pits.
I don't know why he always wanted to meet there, but he would meet there. And I had this little scooter, like when electric scooters were like the first, it was like the first ones that were out when all the craze, like before the Razor scooter came out and all that. It was this little motorized battery operated scooter. And I used to go meet him on it. I'd zoom around and I'd score. And I would always like, he would leave and I would drive around the tar pits a bunch of times, like before I just raced off and did the drugs.
When was
Wind
this?
in my hair on the scooter.
Give me a time frame.
I'm sober for over 17 years, soon to be 18 years. This is like 21 years ago, 20 years ago, 22 years ago.
So like late 90s.
Yeah. And I would just ride around the La Brea tar pits. Like I used to have this flight jacket and I put the fucking dope in my little zipper here and then I go get high. Well, it came to the point where one day the guy says to me, he had a thick accent. He was like from Honduras or something. And he said, like 500 for your scooter? Like $500 worth of fucking dope, which is way more than I paid for the scooter. And I was like, nah, man, I can't. This is before I had kids or anything. I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Cut to me walking home.
There you go.
$500 worth of my. I was like, I guess my La Brea tar pit little cruises are over for now.
That's really fucking funny.
So he took my scooter that day.
That is great. Did you have a car, or is that your only means?
No, I had a car, but I lived close enough at the time because I lived in an apartment that was like 7-8 blocks from there, so it was more convenient to just
And
plus
fun.
yeah. I was a fun junkie.
Yeah.
Like to have fun.
We call those funkies.
Yeah. Like to have fun.
We don't, but we're going to now call them funkies.
A little fun right before I fucking shoot dope and pass out like this.
How long, when you take heroin, how long do you pass out for? Hours, days?
No, it's different every time. Like I could be talking to you, having a perfectly vivid, lucid conversation, and then and it could be for a minute, it could be for 30 seconds, it could be for an hour. I'm like that. It depends.
Okay.
Depends how much you've done, how much you're doing, what the vibe. There's a lot of factors, I think.
Would you drive on it?
Yeah, I was on it all the time, so there was no avoiding driving on it.
God. I know I've said it probably 100 times over the last 10, 11 years, but I just can't imagine you as a junkie. I just can't imagine you not being in control. I can't imagine you being vulnerable or reliant on something that's not nicotine or some queer juice. It's something. Good
it's
for
the
you.
same as those, except
right.
those don't have the same affectation on your body, you know.
I've said it before. I'm proud of you for getting past it.
But I can't. You talk about driving. I couldn't drive if I wasn't high. That's the problem.
You're
Do you know
kidding.
what I mean? Yeah, when you're a junkie, you're, like you can't, like it's, so you have to do it just to be able to do normal everyday functions. So my MO would be like, I would chip all day long and stay high all day long, but I wouldn't go for it until later at night. You know what I mean?
So when you're not high, you're scared and freaking out and like,
But you're sick.
Okay.
You're sick. You're experiencing dope sickness.
Yeah. Is dope sickness like any other flu or any other feeling that you've had in life?
People describe it like a bad flu. There's an indescribable feeling that I can remember in my brain if I think about it hard enough of being dope sick.
Uh-huh.
That is unlike, like, if you touch my skin, it hurts. Like taking a shower hurts. The water hurts your body.
So it's like shingles, maybe like shingles or something.
There's a feeling. It's not just that though. There's a feeling in your throat, and then your nose is starting to run, and this phlegmy, mucusy thing starts happening in your mouth, and it's the fucking worst. And on top of that, there's panic set in on it all.
So your advice, if you're to give advice, let me, in summation, probably your advice is to either stay high or be sober. If you can do, if you want to commit.
But there's no cheating. Like there's no cheating the kick. I always tell guys that I talk to that are asking me for advice or whatever, you have to go through that. You have to go through it. I recommend under a doctor's care in a hospital in a detox or whatever, but you cannot, I'm taking, methadone and Subutex, Suboxone, like all these things. Like there's no cheating the feeling of Kaylee. You have to go through it. It's strong and intense, but it can last a long time. But the worst of it is like 4 or 5 days of it. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, whoa, you like can see the light again and deal with the sickness part. But
let me ask you this. I know that you have been of service to other folks from time to time. Mm-hmm. In the last 7-8 months, have you seen a spike in people needing that kind of assistance? Have you seen a spike in either relapses or? I'm
sure there is. I haven't with people that I know in my circles. Like the people that I've known are mostly pretty solid. I mean, I've seen a couple people fall off the wagon, but I haven't been in touch enough with the world outside to see a real spike. I hear about it, but I'm sure that there is, but I haven't seen it myself just because, for the obvious reasons.
Of course.
Basically, the thing that I'm talking about is you get high like once or twice, and then the rest of your time as a junkie is trying to not be sick.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a real good pitch for not doing it.
It was great one time, and then for like 7 years, I was just trying to not be sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the long and short of it.
And do your kids know yet that you've been through that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. Hopefully it helps
I
them.
mean, they don't know the stories I tell or the stories that you hear or whatever, but like they know.
They don't know that you're not Wayne's story yet?
No.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with me being a junkie.
I know. I'm talking about oversharing.
No, they know that I'm sober.
Mm-hmm.
They know why I'm sober. I guess that my son, I've told a few things like how bad it is, but not experiences I've had. Like if they ask, I'll tell them, but there's also no need to traumatize them or have them be scared of something that is not an immediate fear anymore in my life. You know what I mean? So
cool. Good deal.
But yeah, they do both know.
All right, cool.
My daughter just recently more. My son's known for a few years.
Well, yeah, it makes sense with the ages.
Yeah.
How's the stay-at-home dadding going?
It's all right. I mean, on one hand, it's great because I'm with the kids all the time. You know what I mean? And on the other hand, it sucks because I'm with the kids all the time. So I try and get them out as much as I can, even if it's just like, let's just go around the corner. Let's go for a ride. Let's go, you know. But like I said a million times, they're two different kids. So my son could stay in his room, play fucking guitar and video games all day and not be bothered. And he's fine. My daughter needs the social aspect.
Speaking of your son, how's the guitar playing going? Is he getting good?
He's getting pretty fucking good. Like there's times where I'll hear him and his teacher, who you hooked me up with, actually. I'll hear them playing and I'll walk in and I'm like, oh shit, that was you just playing? You know what I mean? So, you know, he's not crazy amazing, but the thing that I know about him and the thing that the teacher constantly is telling me is he has a great ear, and once he learns something, it takes him like 30 seconds to learn it. He knows where the notes are. It's just a matter of getting it all fluid. But yeah, he's doing good. It's fun to listen to him. It's fun.
That's awesome. When
he's just like plugs in his room and he's got a bunch of guitars up there, and I've totally spoiled him. He has a fucking rack of guitars that like a professional musician would be like, oh my God. Like,
you sent me a picture once. Yeah. Go ahead.
Put it this way. His teacher, Nick, I mean, it's not a secret. His teacher, Nick, he doesn't even bring his own anymore here. He just uses what we have here. Cause
that's saying a lot because he's like a guitar snob.
Yeah, I know. And he's like, right, mate, I'd love to use that one.
Yeah. Well, if we're doing accents, we'll just give his name if people want to know. Is that cool with you? If people want lessons, I think he does them over Zoom.
It's cool with me. Because I've posted pictures with him. So
cool.
with Luca. Yep. So if you follow me, you've probably seen him before. But yeah, it's
Nick Maybury is the guy. He plays guitar in Kind Heaven with Perry, and
he's brilliant.
Yep.
Brilliant.
He was also he was on the bus when Scott Weiland died. He was the guitar player in the band when that happened.
That's insane.
Pretty wild stuff.
Crazy.
Yep.
We should have him on one of these times.
He's fun. He's got some stories. He's got a cool life. And he's one of those people too where he's so positive and so like loves music and performing so much. It's so welcome to me because I've been around people doing it for 30, 40 years sometimes, and they're just like, yeah, it's a gig, whatever. Nick is one of those guys who's like, hey man,
appreciative.
We're gonna play in this garage today. We're gonna play in the garage. It's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah. He'll come. It's only supposed to be an hour. Like 2.5 hours later, he leaves. Like he just loves to keep playing. So yeah, it's great. And Luca's really. I've noticed a huge difference from the time he's been working with him to now, and
he's a good soul. So I imagine that's good because It's good for
Totally.
someone learning to have someone who's not going to like shit on,
I'm
like,
like-
give you shit.
Yeah, the other day, they were fucking doing their thing, and he did some little fucking. Luca did some cool little riff or whatever that he'd been working on. And I just stop and I look at them. I try and leave them alone, but I just stop and go, I'm like, dude, you are gonna get so laid. And Nick kind of is getting to know my personality, and he's like, he looks at Luca, he looks at me, he's like, it's kind of true.
It's perfect. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. That's awesome. I love
But
it.
yeah, he's doing good. He's looking the part. His hair's fucking all long now, and
Yeah.
yeah.
That's one good thing. So the other day, I think I can talk about this. Yeah, because Dave posted about it. I had a day of work the other day. Navarro, Chris Chaney, Taylor Hawkins on drums, and Corey Taylor singing. And we did like a 2-song tribute to Alice in Chains for some thing coming up. And COVID has made Chaney's hair. He looks so fucking cool. Like, I wanted to suck his dick so bad. You wouldn't even believe it. Like some people like they look better during this than others.
Yeah.
Your hair was getting really tall at the beginning.
I know.
Really big.
I had to take it down a bit, but I kind of regret that. I should have let it keep going.
No, it's good. I'm surprised you didn't bring the beard back during all this.
I was gonna try, but I mean, I've had a week where I'll go a week, and then I can't. I get too itchy. I get too broken out. I start breaking out. My skin's too sensitive. I know you got to go through that period for a couple months. I'm like, fuck it.
I'm telling you, beard oil changed everything. Takes that itch away.
Right.
We should do some patron hellos. So as people listened last week, we've started a Patreon, and the response has been very heartwarming. You guys have been generous, and you're going to help us build this show, get it where we want to be, get into a studio, pay a crew. And so one of those perks is we get to thank you on the air.
Now, wait, what is this thing called? Parcheesi?
It's whatever you want to call it. You want to call it Parcheesi?
Parmesan?
Let's go Parcheesi. And what would you call the people that donate?
Petroleum? No, what is it really called?
It's called Patreon, and they're called patrons. The people that support us are called patrons.
If the name of the company is Patreon, why don't they call them Patreons?
Because people that go to restaurants, they're called patrons. People that give to a business.
No, but that doesn't make sense, because people that go to restaurants are patrons. They're not. There's no Patreon in the restaurant on the name.
Let's see if there's a definition. What's the definition of Patreon?
See,
Here's
it doesn't
an answer
even
from
fucking know.
Google.com. Patreon is a membership platform that makes
It's a made-up word like Twitter or Instagram.
Exactly. So that's why you don't call them in the restaurant Patreons.
Should we can come up with a different name for these folks?
Dick fucks.
All right, let's take a minute to thank all of our dick fucks out there. There's a few tiers.
I mean that in a good way. Dick fucks in a good way.
It's kind of nice. There's $20
right.
gift dick fucks.
You
Go ahead, start it off. Yeah.
You know this stuff better than me, so you explain what it is, and then I have some copy that you've been so gracious to send me to read.
It's off the top of your head, dude. I didn't write anything down. This is all off the top of your head. Yeah, Patreon basically, like you can go to patreon.com/rareformradio, and we have a few tiers, 3 tiers, and you can pick your option, whatever works best for your budget. And each
wait, why would we want listeners to be in tiers? We want to make them laugh.
Because this show is not always great. Like over the last 7 months, we've had some of our more bummer shows. We had a show like 5 or 6 weeks ago. I don't think there was one chuckle in it. It was just all like, everything sucks. All of our friends are sick. I have no job. You have no job.
We're mirroring the world is what we're
doing.
True.
Like that. There was one show in particular where I remember I was editing it being like, this one is such a fucking bummer. But anyway,
yeah,
you can go to patreon.com. Sincerely, thank you everybody who's donated so far. It's been really nice. People are very kind, and hopefully it'll help us take the show to the next level and stuff that Todd and I have been talking about for a long time.
Yeah, once we get into a studio, properly out of this quarantine and stuff, we're planning to build out our own studio, if that's my understanding.
Fuck yeah.
And that'll help do that and assemble a little bit of a crew and stuff like that. So it's not just two dick fucks on Zoom talking and trying to make you guys fucking laugh over the dumbest shit that we could think of.
Absolutely.
So we do appreciate it. Our number one first Patreon
Dick fuck.
is well, I won't use the word dick fuck for her because she might be, I like her way better than I like you. She might be one of my favorite people. And I mean that sincerely. She might be one of my favorite people in the world is Gina. She was our first Patreon.
That's really, honestly, that's very, very fitting.
It is very fitting. And we love you for that. I love you. She knows that I love her. And I appreciate it that she is number one. Everyone else didn't care enough to be number one, but she did.
Couldn't be bothered to open the goddamn website and just sign up quickly.
So I guess these tier things, the top tier, whatever, I don't know how they're named or whatever. By the way, I will admit this on the air. This show would not exist without Dan because I don't really do anything but show up. If that, I'm like, let's just do it tomorrow. And Dan does all this legwork. Sure, I post the show to SoundCloud and then put it on Twitter, but that's nothing. That's easy stuff. Dan is the one who researches all this. Dan is the one who makes this thing really fucking happen. If it wasn't for Dan, I would not be doing this. So, and I mean that. So, any praise to how the show is building out or how the show is going is definitely due to Dan.
Well, let me tell you this. I welcome your help anytime you want to give it. Hopefully down the road.
I know you'd welcome it, but
the truth is too, you do have more to do than I do. Your home life is a full-time job. I don't have anything to do. I'm happy to do it. I wouldn't do it either unless I really enjoy doing this with you, Todd Newman.
It is definitely one of the reasons why, I'm not so hands-on in that aspect is because, I got a fucking ton of shit going on and blah, 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 blah. But I wanted to say that in all seriousness, all kidding aside, that Dan is the one that makes this shit happen. So again, these tiers things. So I guess there's a top tier.
And you get you're going to get extra shows per month. You're going to get these director's cuts that we're doing, which this show is going to be one of, where, the people that listen on iTunes, they'll get a good show, a good hour, whatever chunk of a show.
One of our regular shows. Yeah.
Yes. And then every now and then there's going to be a tack on half hour and a half, whatever we want to do. Those will go to the people that donate more. And then the top tier people are going to get a couple extra shows a month. They're going to get early access. So $20 a month will get you early access to the shows, the extended cuts, and all kinds of goodies. And one of the perks to being on the second and third tier is you get shout outs on the air. You get thank you and thank yous on the air.
All right. So I'm going to do some top tier shout outs. Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah. And then I'll do some middle tier.
So Gina's at the top of the tier. She's the president of that tier, I'd like to say.
And you said, this show is brought to you by these people, and you could almost call them executive producers, right?
Yes, I do. I do say that later in the program that we already did.
Yeah, cool. Great.
So, yes, basically the show is brought to you by these people at this point. They are the executive producers of this show. And I think we should go as far as to even maybe put a title card on the YouTube ones that say executive produced by, and they get their name on there.
How about this? Let me give you this. How about Gina is the only executive producer, and everyone else is associate producers or something like that.
Right. The bullshit producers. That's what in movies, an associate producer is just friends with the jerk offs that made the movie. Don't forget that.
All right.
They're literally like, I would be an executive producer on a bunch of Dave's shit because I'm just his friend. That's it. Right. I don't have any duties as producer whatsoever.
So before you go forward, let's congratulate Gina on being executive producer of Rare Form Radio. Very fitting. Thank you, Gina. You're the best.
Gina EP. Under Gina are Angie, Dane Warner, Ida Flom, Karen Howard, Kristen Cutlip, Neil Yelland, Richard Ness, and one of my favorites.
Come on.
Rob Van Halen.
That's very timely, actually. Very, very timely. The next tier people that we have,
because Rob is alive is why you're saying that.
Yes, he's the one that
didn't die.
Wasn't an idiot, didn't get mouth cancer.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the 10 tier donors, like, you guys are cool. I mean, appreciate it. Thank you very much. You're not as good as the top tier folks, but that's all you can do. We love you. We got Aaron Sheehan, Anouk Van Week, Week. We know Anouk. Chad Wise, Demetrius Lacumentis, Emily Bishop, Jeremy Solomon, Joe Sperry, Lauren Hoffin, Matt Slateholm, Noah Koritz, my buddy from back home, Vanessa Huggett, Wendy Bird, who we love very, very much as well, and Sarah Little. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Sarah Little, meaning she only donated a little.
Not as little as the next people. I mean, let's be real here.
You got to understand how much I hate this, by the way.
It's what we got to do. It's nice for the folks.
But you do know why, right?
Sure, of course. And I love it. I love seeing you be uncomfortable.
I'm so uncomfortable.
That means you're going to do it every week. Dude, you're pandering to the people.
I fucking hate it. I appreciate it. Like, you would not believe how much I appreciate it, but I fucking hate it.
If you guys want to see Todd be upset and uncomfortable, keep signing up. This is what you get. You get uncomfortable. By the way, go on YouTube.
I'm sweating.
That's what I'm going to say. Go on YouTube and look at Todd. He's turning red. He's getting shiny. He's sweating. He's angry. He's miserable. He's uncomfortable. He doesn't like you, but he appreciates you.
I like them. I don't like myself is what it is. It's a self-esteem issue.
Fair.
Anyway.
Fair.
All right, back to the funny stuff. Dan, say something funny.
We do this show on Zoom, which blows for the most part, right? We can agree. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you hear about the New Yorker writer who got in trouble?
No, what happened?
Do you know who Jeffrey Toobin is?
I know the name.
Okay,
Jeffrey Toobin.
He's a writer for the New Yorker. He's on CNN all the time.
Okay, maybe that's how I know.
He was on a Zoom meeting with all of his work people and showed his dick to his coworkers. And I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if he walked out of the bathroom or if he like swung it around.
Did he say, check out the Toobin?
The ToobinSteak. The ToobinSteak. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but like he showed it to like executives and co-workers, and he's been either let go or put on leave at the New Yorker. His quote was, I thought I had muted the Zoom video, which is classic right. Toobin, if you ask me. Right, but it reminded me of the story you told a little while ago when you were on the Zoom and you ripped one and you had no idea.
Yeah.
It was muted.
But why are you muting the Zoom meeting and pulling your dick out?
Like I said, maybe he like got up and took a leak and was talking. I don't know what there's no details yet on how it was seen or what the context was.
Did he do this thinking he was doing this? But then that wasn't really there, and he was like, "Hey, fuck you, boss!" And did it like, was he doing that kind of shit?
It's funny that you say that because I was wondering, like,
because if it was, then that's awesome.
Do you take a lot of calls on speakerphone, right? I assume.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you ever do a thing where you're talking to someone who annoys you, and don't say me, even though I know you're gonna, and you mute it, and you say "fuck you," I fucking hate you. You say all the things you want to say, but you can't.
No, because I would just say it to you.
I'm not saying me. I'm talking to like your mom or something.
Oh, believe me, if you heard the things I've said to my mom.
Oh, I believe it. But I wonder if like.
Thank God I don't have children that talk to me the way I talked to my mother.
Right. Yeah. They probably. You probably kill your kids if they did that.
Yeah, I'd beat the shit out of them. Yeah.
And I wonder, like, this guy. I don't know how he showed his dick, but there's got to be so many people who are doing work meetings where, like, you know, you mute your video screen or turn it off and you're just jerking off while people are talking, like, because you're looking at them and like doing exhibitionist shit.
Excuse me. I don't I can't relate to that because like I would just walk away from the screen and go to the bathroom, or you know what I mean? Like I just maybe because my setup is different or I have kids in the house or whatever, but like I don't know, I just think it's hilarious. The ToobinSteak.
ToobinSteak.
That's great.
It's so good, but I feel like
And
I would.
I would, if I was him, I would just be like, all the fucking problems in the world. Like, we're all working at CNN. We know the backstory on all these fucking problems in the world. Really? You give a shit that I showed my dick? Like, fuck you guys.
Right.
That would be right.
Don't, damn it. I was hoping you didn't hear it. We'll isolate it and loop it. Shit. God damn it. I hate when we catch that stuff.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. That's awesome.
I think there's a lot of exhibitionist shit that goes on. Like when I was younger, when I was like I told you the story when I jerked off in third grade, right? In class. I was in third grade, and we had the tables in a circle around the whole class. So everyone, all the kids can see each other. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I thought people wouldn't see me, but like I put my legs up on like the bars on the desk. I was wearing sweatpants. And I was in third grade, and I pulled my dick out and jerked off to completion in third grade. There's people on either side of me, and I know that the girl directly across from me, I know she has to have seen it. Her name's Lauren Hittner, and I guarantee she saw it. And I just don't know what I was thinking, but I think even in third grade, I had the rush of like, I shouldn't be doing this. People might see it, but that's why it's fun.
Yeah, I don't know if that I ever had like exhibitionism in it. I've done things that would be considered in that category, but I don't know if that was what gave me the rush, because I think it was just more of the need to, I'm going to jerk off right now. I can't, it doesn't matter that there's people around or whatever. And like, I've told you the story about me being in the back of the station wagon with the hockey bags.
Best.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that wasn't ooh, this is dangerous. I wonder if they can see me. It was, I hope to God no one can see me, but
this is happening.
But I have to do this. And the mom driving the car saw me in the rearview mirror the whole time, and I was like excommunicated. I was never allowed to go to their house, and because you know why she did that, like why she told he's not allowed here, whatever. Like I don't think that she told them why,
right?
Because her pussy was so wet while she was watching me that it scared her.
Yeah, and she had to like pay to have the car cleaned, so it was an inconvenience that cost her money as well.
Exactly. It was a truth that she didn't want to face.
How old were you?
Shit, I must have been in like 7th grade.
So 12, 13 probably?
7th or 8th grade, yeah.
She could have liked it. Like
she
there were women that like are
She's
into
like,
little boys.
This fucking little kid is in the back of my station wagon. He's making me so hot. Look at him jerk that little dick.
Can you say her name, Mrs. something?
No.
Are you still in touch with the
No, I'm not, but I just can't. I can't out. I can't because there are people in my life still that would know. I'm not giving.
Can you give me the first letter of the last name?
Mm-mm.
Last letter of the last name.
No.
What's it rhyme
barking
with?
Up the wrong tree. No.
What's her full name?
The first letter of her last name is a C.
I know who it is. I'm not going to say it because I know you don't want me to, but I know exactly who it is.
And it ends in a Y.
Don't you fucking dare. It was not Mrs. Cleary. Fuck. Walked right into that one. I will tell you, my mom would love it. She'd be very stoked.
Yeah, she'd be stoked, believe me.
Because
I like touch my abs and stuff while I'm doing it.
You had abs at 13?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Got a boy.
Fucking suck my own nipples while I'm jerking.
In the hockey pads? Just sucking your own tits and jerking off.
With like the suspenders for the hockey pads.
Yeah. With the
Move
and
it
hopefully
over.
You had the gloves on still, just like That's
Those
so
hockey
stupid.
pad suspenders.
Of course. That's so fucking dumb. Do you ever
Yeah.
make faces at people wearing your mask at stores?
I don't even understand that question. What do you
Like-
mean wearing my mask?
like
Oh,
when-
you mean while I have a COVID mask on?
Yeah. I do it all the time. I'll do like the licky, like that. I literally do it all the time if it's a chick.
I don't do that.
Or if I'm talking to someone, they're taking my order and they're reading it back to me, I'll be like, fuck you.
But you
Just-
could hear that.
No, I don't actually whisper. I'm just
That would be funny though if they're like, I could.
Excuse me?
You know, I could hear
What?
you.
no, I'm
It's
just
not
moving my
covering
lips.
the sound.
No, I do this shit all the time. I think it's just like a personal, it's like my little moment of the day. But I stick my tongue out. I'll do weird faces all the time.
You could
I'm
just put a mask over your dick and walk around and do like dick things in front of people.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I don't think people would have a problem with that one bit. Jerking.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I had another jerking off story. But what were
Go
we going to
ahead.
say? Okay.
No, go ahead.
Did you have a water bed as a kid ever?
I did not.
Okay. My aunt Pat, she had cancer, and I was over at her house visiting her, and she had a water bed, and I was like, I don't know, I was probably like 10 years old and jumping on it and talking about how great it was and how fun it was. And before she died, one of the things she did with her money is she bought me a water bed, which is very sweet. And then she died. So I had the water bed, and obviously this is like in my teenage years now. Up until I moved, I had it until I was 19 when I moved. And I would jerk off in bed, of course. And there was multiple times in my house, neither my mom nor my stepdad, probably nor my sister, would knock before they came in. So they'd open the door and I'd stop jerking off, but I'd still be like moving like this. I mean, no, I'm just hanging out. And it's so fucking obvious what I was doing. And I just had to play it off like I'm just rolling over, or no, I was just scratching my head.
Surfing. I'm just surfing.
Oh, you scared me. And I think about that all the time. I was talking about waterbeds last night, and it brought me right back to like that. I'm busted, but I'm not busted. Like they must know, and I know that they know, but it was never talked about.
I had a friend when I was a kid, when I was 13, 12, 13. We really, really just started really jerking off like every single day, multiple
Together.
times a year. Well, yeah, like he had bunk beds. So I'd be on the top bunk, he'd be on the bottom bunk, and we didn't even take into consideration the gayness of it all, but we would just jerk off and then go out and play football, or like it was just part of the thing, like part of the routine. Come home, get a snack, jerk off, go out and play, right? And we were in there one day, and his mom came in furious at us because we had these like velour sweaters. Remember when velour was a big thing? I mean, you're a little younger than me, but like in the early 80s, like 81, 82, velour sweaters were like the thing. And
It's a very Italian thing as well.
I would take the velour sweater and turn it inside out and use that to jerk off with. You get pretty chafed after a while. You can't do it all the time, but I guess after a bunch of times, we just fucking talk like out of being tired. You know, when you're done jerking off, you're not in the right state of mind. Like, I think that's where the term "you're a fucking jerk off" comes from. Like, because you're just a man anyway, is an idiot.
Yeah.
For like 5 minutes. There's like a 1 to 5 minute period of like mental retardation that happens.
It's like you shoot some of your brains out
Yeah,
of your dick. Yeah.
And you're like, you're just not thinking, And we would finish and just like toss them over the side, like on the inside of the bed, like so they couldn't be found or whatever. One day his mother came in, she was fucking furious. So it's just she's holding these two velour sweaters.
And the arm is just up like this on its own.
They were like that, yeah. They were just like starched, like cum starched. Like
They may as well have been cardboard. Just
like she could have beaten us with it to death. Like that's how hard it was. she's like, what's going on in this room? Like just totally outing her, like not even, how should I approach this? Like there was none of that. What are you doing? And I think her fear that we might be gay was what she was so furious at.
100% what her problem was.
She was furious at it. That was like another, like, oh, can't go to that kid's house after school anymore. Like,
so what happened? Like, what was the back and forth? What was said?
The back and forth was just us playing dumb. Like, oh, we don't know. What are you talking about? Like, and then I was just like, bye. I left. Yeah, bye. This is your fucking house, not mine. You fucking have to live here, not me.
And what was that family's last name?
I'm not telling you.
Damn it. I'm giving names all over the place. Oh, I got to start. There's this.
But funnily enough, just to round that story out, the person that it was, who I'm not friends with anymore, I haven't been friends with in years, but I did like reacquaint maybe 2 or 3 years ago with on Facebook. And just, hey, how you doing? Like, he's got kids, and no, your kids look great. We're doing the pleasantries like that. And I was like, I just threw it out there. I was like, you think your kids do shit like we did when we were in high school? He knew exactly what I was talking about. He was like, no.
That's awesome. That is so great. I love the idea of just the starched fucking sweater.
I used to work at this convenience store when I was in high school. After school, it was like an after school job. Like I would hide out in the freezer downstairs, like, because that's where they kept all the cases of soda and beer and all that. And I would just hide out in there, like, for a half hour. They'd be like calling me on the buzzer. And I used to fucking jerk off in the freezer, like almost every day at work. Right on the cases of milk, right on the fucking cases of Budweiser. Just leave it there. Come back the next day and be all frozen. Little cumsicles.
Ladies, you have no idea how fucking disgusting we are.
We're the worst.
And
We're the worst.
It starts as a child, as a total child. When I worked at the gas station, when I was like 16, 17, 18, I would jerk off there all the time, and it was full serve. So I'd have to, like, I'm jerking off behind the counter, and a car would pull up. I'd be like, fuck. I have to tuck my boner in. Like, you know, like you put it
in the waistband.
Up under the belt, exactly. Because you can't just put it in your pants. So you're walking with this boner sticking out the top of your belt, and go pump gas as fast as you can and try to maintain your heart on, and come back in and finish it off, and hopefully no one else pulls up. But I just get so angry. Like, how dare they interrupt me?
So I'm gonna out my son right now.
Uh-oh.
This is an endearing. I consider this an endearing story.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I'm not gonna tell you all the particulars because there's some that I want to keep for him, but I'll give you the gist. So he's really open with me. Both.
He always has been, right?
Yeah. Always has been. Very forthcoming would be the proper word.
Oh, I bet he is.
There's no secrets really, like, and he just, you know. So when he started doing that, he asked me about it. He was like, I get this weird feeling and I was like, yeah, I was like, dude, every guy does it. And if they say they don't, they're lying. So there's no shame. It's your body. It's totally natural. I give him the whole fucking cool dad speech. And I don't know, like a year later, because you know how when you're a kid, you start that action before anything comes out.
Oh yeah, air.
So there's years of just like you just get this feeling, but you're not ejaculating. Nothing comes out. You haven't hit that point in your puberty yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hits that point, and he's like, he goes, Dad, I think I've started producing sperm. And just the way he said that, I was like about to cry because it was so cute. And I was about to burst out laughing because it was so funny. But like that was his choice of words, right?
Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's cool, normal, totally. He's like, well, I think I got some like on my sweatpants. I'm like, okay, well, that happens, no worries. And he's like, but I don't want to put it in the laundry. I'm like, okay, I'll take care of it. Just give it to me. I'll wash them with my clothes right now. Okay. So he hands it to me. The next day, he's like, Dad, I think I got some on my pants again. I'm like, okay, well, give them to me. No problem. Because he showed concern. I don't want to mix them in with my sister and my mom's laundry. Like, to me, that's weird. I'm like, totally get it. All good. Give them to Dad. The next day, he
By the way,
comes.
so he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next day, he comes to me. He's like, I got him on my clothes. I'm like, dude, this is not going to be an everyday thing. I'm like, I got to teach you how to aim and how to like use something to clean it, So he's like, oh, okay. I could tell he was bummed. Like, oh, I thought he was just going to wash my every time.
No.
So, like, no, that's not happening.
There's a saying like, I do it once, it's a favor. If I do it twice, it's my job. And that's not going to be my job.
Yeah. So like I had to teach him. Well, if you go to the bathroom, you could do that. If you're in bed, you can lean over. Like I had to teach him how to aim cum.
My God, dude.
For all of you future parents out there who who haven't had those talks yet with your kid, that's what it's gonna come to. Yeah. Like I literally had to teach him how to shoot a load.
And a little bit of advice, if you're a stepmother, just let him do it in your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not your blood kid. Just let him do it in your mouth. It
would be helping so much in the house. Like, the vibe would be so cool.
You cut down on laundry. You save water. That makes the most sense. If you're able to do it, if you met your husband, he had kids, you accepted it. You take these kids into your home as your own.
If it's a Brady type situation.
Right. Like, just let them come in your fucking mouth, you bitch.
Yeah. Stop being so selfish.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Like loving parents. I mean, not blood parents, loving step parents. Fuck their kids.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting at. And on that note, anything else you got?
I think I've exhausted everything I would have.
Okay, well we can wrap the show here, and we did an interview with our friend Heidi Van Tassel.
That's right.
That's going to be tacked on to the end of this show, and if you want to listen to that, you can go to patreon.com/rareformradio, and that is how you find the way to listen to that interview. That's for our patrons only aspect of the show. Do you want to talk about a little bit what we got into? Briefly?
I could do a little bit of a setup. There was a news story recently where someone suffered the same kind of fate. If you've been listening to our show before and you've heard Heidi Van Tassel on our show, you might know that she was the victim of a horrific incident where a homeless person had dumped feces on her. So we get into a funny yet poignant discussion of a similar situation that was just in the news, and we get into that. And that's about it.
Oh, we do have listener questions. You want any of those?
Yeah, let's hit those out.
Okay.
You have reached the voicemail box of
Rare Form Radio.
Please leave a message after the tone.
I'm just trying it out, Dan.
Oh, there you go. Cool. It's working. I can't even tell.
Hi guys, this is Chris from Las Vegas. First off, I'm super excited to be joining your Patreon and look forward to all the fun stuff you guys are going to do. Todd, when Mark McGrath was on, you mentioned that you hated Lisa Rinna, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate on why you dislike her so much. Thanks, guys.
It's funny. When you said that, I was wondering, like, why her? What's his problem with her?
Well, I'll tell you why. It's not just her.
Okay.
She's on one of those housewives shows.
Mm-hmm.
Housewives of Beverly Hills, I guess. Beverly Hills Housewives or whatever it's called. The Real Housewives of whatever. And my wife indulges. That's like mindless TV, those Real Housewives shows. And I get really angry when I watch those shows. Like I can't stay in the same room when she's watching them.
So you can't get past, you can't be like, just take it for what it is and get past the hatred. It's just, it's real.
Because those fucking women are the most disgusting, backstabbing, gross people. Like the fact that they're cashing in on celebrity for being disgusting cunts makes me sick. And the shit that they go get into on the show and the shit talking that they do and the fake this and the fake lips and the fake this and like they bring their whole families into the fucking mix and talk shit about each other. Then there's a show after where they're talking shit about the shit that they talked on the show, where they're all in and the cat fighting. To me, they are disgusting people. So it's not just Lisa Rinna that I pick out personally. It's all of them. All of them on those shows make me fucking sick. Now, there are other shows that my wife, she likes reality TV. For her, I always ask why. This is, like I watch documentaries.
Swamp people.
Like,
he likes swamp people. That's it.
Yeah. And I watched like fucking 14 episodes of Pawn Stars today.
Oh, that's a great show.
So like, I'm not against reality TV, but these entitled, classless women that are on certain episodes or certain installments of this show, the Real Housewives show, where it's obvious that they're promoting hatred and promoting backstabbing and promoting entitlement and flaunting shit that some of them don't even really have. The lifestyle that they're living on TV is not the lifestyle that they actually really have. You know what I mean? Those ones I just have a fucking problem with, like a big problem.
Okay.
And they disgust me. So if she wants to know why I said Lisa Rinna is because she came up in the conversation.
So basically, replace any name with any of them, and you'll feel the same way.
Yeah. And I just, for her personally, I think she looks foolish.
Oh, she the lip one?
Yeah, her lips are fucking out to here, and like she's anorexic.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the lips.
Yeah, exactly. She could afford to slice a few off and give it to a needy person like Dan.
Yeah. Thank you.
She's selfish on top of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, just, I mean, I get why my wife might like those mindless shows like that and like the cat fighting, this and that, because it's just so stupid and surreal kind of. Mm-hmm. But it actually strikes a chord of anger in me.
I get it.
So, all of them, the New York ones, she only really watches, I guess, the Orange County ones, like the Real Housewives. Like, first of all, half these fucking chicks aren't even married anymore. Like, they're not housewives. There's nothing housewife about them.
Right.
So the name of the show isn't apropos for what they are. It should be called The Real Backstabbing, Disgusting, Classless Cunts of Beverly Hills, because that's what I see them as, and they disgust me. There's the long answer.
It's so funny that we're saying this now. My neighbor upstairs, who's a longtime friend of mine, I can hear her walking around now. And she's a producer on those shows. That's what she does for a living.
Tell her she's poisoning the human race with that garbage
and ruining the vibe in your home. Mm-hmm. Like it's tearing your family apart.
Yeah, I'm going downstairs because she's watching. I'm like, I can't. I've even tried. Just all right, it's a fucking reality show. It's not real or whatever. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just the portrayal of it all. It just makes me fucking sick to my stomach.
Oh man.
There's other ones. I mean, that's like, she watches what's that one on the boats? Below Deck. There's like, I guess there are cruises that people like guests go on, and it's about the crew on the ship, and there's interpersonal relationship. Those are stupid too, but like they don't anger me. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. There's I've never watched. I don't think I've seen an episode of Housewives, but I feel like there's a shallowness that is unparalleled in
that's exactly
in television.
That's exactly the perfect way to put it. It's a shallowness that is unparalleled. It's so inhumane and disgusting, like the way they fucking portray themselves and the flaunting and the this and that. And like, it's disgusting.
So you're a guy that you know how TV works, and you know that things are amplified for the sake of
Yeah, the
viewership.
producers write stories. They
Right.
they promote infighting with
So
yeah.
you're good at seeing through bullshit. Do you think taking away the added theatrics that they're still shitty?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Thank you, Chris, for the question, and thank you for your patronage. We got another one here.
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Lars from Stockholm, Sweden. Topic for tonight. If you were to make a 3-record compilation called The Rare Form Radio's Beginner's Guide to Rush, which 3 albums would you include and why? Go.
I know nothing about Rush, really, so this is a you question.
Well, I mean, I would just buy Chronicles because it's like a double album best of Rush. Like I would just put that one in. But
no, you can't. Is it a greatest hits or is it a double album?
Yeah, it's a greatest hits.
Yeah, you can't. Greatest hits don't count.
Greatest hits.
Those don't count.
I would say Moving Pictures. He wants Order too. I would put Moving Pictures as the first one because people who aren't into Rush, that would be the most palatable.
Okay.
For them. That's the one that has Tom Sawyer and YYZ and all those songs on it.
Okay.
Moving Pictures, then 2112, then maybe A Farewell to Kings.
Okay. And that's the rank? That's it right there?
Yeah, I'll just say those because those are the first 3 that came to my mind.
Okay. We got one. Who we got here? Let's see what we got.
Hey guys, got a question for Dan. You have the choice to play one gig with your dream lineup, drummer, vocalist, guitar, second guitarist, bassist, whatever. Or you can go around and destroy Matt Sorum's drum set at every single gig that he plays for the rest of his life. As soon as he goes to strike the drums for the first time and he looks like a dick at every single gig he plays. What do you do?
Well, first of all, he'll look like a dick regardless. I don't need to break his fucking drums. The guy's a fucking tool.
Matt Sorum's your Lisa Rinna?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Matt Sorum is every housewife to me. That's an awesome question, and that is why I love our people. Shit. I don't think Matt plays enough shows where I could really get the full enjoyment, and he definitely doesn't play like big enough shows where it's going to matter. Like if he's playing in front of 150 people, the embarrassment is small. But if I could play bass with Nine Inch Nails at Woodstock in 1994, I'd probably choose Woodstock. But the Sorum thing would be fun. If I could go back to like 92 and fuck up his drums on every show of the Use Your Illusion tour, maybe I would choose that. But that's a good question. I love those kind of questions. Keep those coming. Those are good.
I would rather hurt people than fulfill my fantasies any day.
I cannot wait to cut that audio out and keep that as a little loop. I'd rather hurt people than fulfill my fantasies.
Any day.
That's great. We got a weird one from Rod from Canada. Let's hear this one.
A weird one?
Yeah, he finally sent a weird one.
Hello, Rare Form Radio. This is Slowpoke Rodriguez, vocationing from El Canadia. A question involving code bead masks. Do you think when looking at someone's unmasked face can be sehi, kind of like looking down someone's blouse or a buff dude's v-neck? Grazie.
The fuck is he talking about?
I don't know.
I don't even know what the question is.
Oh shit! I almost passed out. I don't know what the point of the accent is, but I appreciate it. I think he's trying to be Frank, maybe. I think
he's trying to be Slowpoke Rodriguez, which is an actual character.
I know, but we always call Frank Slowpoke
Yeah.
Rodriguez. I think the question is, do you think we'll get to a point in COVID where when you see someone's uncovered face, it's kind of like a peek down a girl's shirt or of a buff dude's chest in a V-neck? Is it going to be sehi, which I think means sexy? To see someone's face? Maybe we should have started with that question and then worked our way up to the good ones.
Next time, let me hear the order first.
Okay.
No, I don't think that'll ever happen.
See, I don't think so either. I think that's I'm gonna give a confident no. I mean, that's like in the Middle East when the girls wear the is it a burqa? Is that what the like when you catch a glimpse of a girl's leg or you see part of their face, it's a turn on in the Middle East. I don't want to get to that point.
I don't want to get to that point either, but I don't know. I still don't understand the question.
We'll think about it for the whole week, and then we'll circle back next week.
Yeah, we'll start with that next week.
Cool. Well, stay tuned for the or sign up for Patreon, and you can listen to our fun time. We're going to talk to Heidi for like 30, 40 minutes, but thank you, Todd, for doing the show and putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation to cater to the people.
Tonight was uncomfortable in a lot of areas for me.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought tonight's show was great. It was great.
It was a great show, but like,
I know why. I know why you had a tough time. Because you had to thank people for supporting us, and you had to have an honest moment, and you had to give me a compliment, which is not easy for you.
That is true.
Yep.
Hey, don't get me wrong. It's not the thanking people part that I had a problem with. It's just the fact that we're even doing it that I have a problem with. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you want to talk about it? I'm happy to talk about it if you want to talk about it. I have some thoughts on it. Go
ahead.
I think, you're. I'm not motivated by money. You're not motivated by money. But if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know what my future is. As far as I've made my living for 15 years working with bands, touring the world, and I don't know when that's coming back. I mean, it really could be a year from now. It could be June, July, August, and I've wanted to get out of doing that for a while anyway. And total truth is, I really love doing this. I think I have a lot of fun doing it with you. I like interacting with our people who've been with us for some of them 10, 11 years, and if they enjoy what we do and they want to contribute to make the show better and get to a point where you and I could possibly do this for Todd, I'm putting myself out there.
Go ahead.
I think it's amazing if we can get to a point where we could possibly do this for a living. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
and if people want to help
awesome
do it,
too.
If people want to help do it, I love it. And
I totally get you. I totally understand that. And just, it's like, I have an aversion to Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Like, it falls under that umbrella for me personally. Like, especially when it's like, Zach Braff from the TV is starting a Kickstarter so he could do a movie. Like, that's how I feel. That's the ickiness that I feel about it. That's why it's uncomfortable for me.
I feel better about this than I would doing ad reads. I'm not saying we won't ever do them, but like, if we're doing ad reads, our people, I don't think our listeners who support us would I think they'd prefer to help us directly and not hear ad reads. And it's less comfortable. And
that's a good point. I mean, all the ad reads we've done, we've pretty much not been down with the actual thing anyway.
For the most part. I mean, the Blue Apron stuff we did with Dark Matter, I did enjoy those meals. They were cool. But we got pitched some truly retarded ones.
Oh, you people out there, if you were listeners of Dark Matter before came on tour, the shit that we got pitched to do, and we turned down because no, we're not reading that. We're not selling that. We're not and especially with Dave on board.
Yeah, no way.
No.
So
we're not doing
I would honestly rather people donate and help us like with something that we're already going to do, and we'll give you more shows. We'll give you extra, and it'll keep us from like having to do ad reads and that kind of stuff. And I've donated to shit like this before, and personally, as a fan of things, I like being a part of it too. It makes people feel like they're a part of it, and they are.
Yeah,
like if they're
certainly are.
If they're paying Frank's salary and doing that kind of stuff, it's I feel like they've contributed something cool, and it is fun, and we provide a service and distract people from this horrible world we live in.
All right, fuck you.
Yeah, bye, Todd.
All right, so we will be right back with Heidi Van Tassel. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Todd.
And we will try and see you again very soon.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.